Bruce's big call Dinar Intel Tuesday night the 8th of October 24. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Bruce's big call Dinar Intel Tuesday night the 8th of October 24. Transcribed by Wiser now emailed to recaps. Welcome everybody to the big call tonight. It is Tuesday, October 8th and you're listening to the big call. Thanks for tuning in. Everybody again, as always Tuesday and Thursday nights, we welcome everyone all over the globe. The satellite team is doing their best to get the signal out to as many countries as they can. And as many people as they can, and we welcome all of Big Call Universe tonight. Tonight, Sue and I will be doing the call without Bob. Bob has evacuated his area South Florida. And he is exhausted really from the drive he had to make to get to where he was going. So I asked him to rest tonight and not really push it to come on the call. So we'll cover for him tonight, Sue, and I will do the call. It'll be a shorter call than normal, that's for sure. Alright, so that being said, let's go ahead and pray the call in. Alright, let's move into the Intel segment. Let's go into where we stand. We did get an update on where we are and where we are from last Thursday, when we last had our call. But what's important to get out to you guys is this. Okay, first of all, let's talk about Monday. Monday is Columbus Day. I know they renamed it something else. I don't remember what it's called right now. We think the banks, for the most part, are closed. Now, is this a so-called 3-day weekend? Well, yeah, maybe. However, redemption centers can be made open on Monday. Not a problem, they may very well be open for us. I'm mentioning that because let's go into this first. This morning, at 6:30 a.m. we were advised by one of our military sources that GESARA, GESARA, which is the international scope, started this morning. It was activated this morning. Now that's an international scenario. NESARA for us, that begins with NESARA. NESARA deals with the United States. Okay, and we heard that NESARA will be activated on Sunday or implemented beginning Sunday, the 13th of this month of October. Now, will we see anything on Sunday? I personally think we'll have to wait Monday or Tuesday to get any information or announcements that we know are contained in the NESARA. I wanted to get that out to you first. GESARA began this morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern, and that's global. And NESARA is our National Economic Strategic Recovery Act is for the United States, and that begins on Sunday. Now, what is included in NESARA are things like knowledge about our new asset-backed currency, the USN, and also information that we should contain, maybe not on day 1 or day 2. But it should contain information about the change in our tax system, no more Fed or state tax, from our federal, and we know we're getting back taxes that we paid throughout our adult life. From age whatever, 16, whenever we started, we should be getting all back as part of our R&R payment. Restitution and reclamation allowance that is supposed to be coming back in that. We're also supposed to have, as you guys know, interest that we paid on credit cards, on bank loans, on mortgages, on anything that were run through the banks. That is part is included in your R&R along with the training that they did on our birth certificates, death certificates, on spouses and parents also divorce decrees. And what else did I forget? One marriage license, divorce decrees? Yeah, marriage licenses, right. When you got married, instruments that they use, besides our certificates and so on. So a lot of that ends up being something that we will get back. It was a trade of us as property, and we will get those funds. Single quote. Now, for those of us who are exchanging at the redemption centers, which is everyone that hears my voice, you will set appointment, and that would be put into your Quantum account. And should be in there already, so that you can have access to that and lose those funds if you want into your primary or secondary wealth account. And I say wells because all the redemption centers in North America in the United States. Not necessarily Canada and not necessarily Mexico and Canada. But Canada being watched over by HSBC, as the primary bank have also Center Bank. Those two banks for Canada. And then the redemption centers North America in the United States, not necessarily Canada, and not necessarily Mexico and Canada. But HSBC is the primary bank, but also Social Bank. Those two banks for Canada and then Latin America as being the redemption centers North America in the United States, not necessarily Canada, and not necessarily Mexico and Canada. But HSBC is the primary bank, but also Social Bank, Those two banks for Canada and then in Mexico and Latin America is being overseen by Banco Santander Bank. Santander Bay, right? So those three, the rest of the world, I can only say HS is still the lead international day. There may be some other banks too that are really the major biggest bank, the one-type banks in other countries. Okay, so pay attention to that. Now, as far as our timing for this, okay, we know that people are telling us essentially it's coming from 3 separate sources today. 2 of them are saying we could get notified anytime between Friday. They're considering that the weekend and Monday, the 14th. So the weekend, Friday to the 14th, which is Monday. One source is indicating that we could get by any time from tomorrow, which is the 9th through the 14th, which is Monday. So the 9th through the 14th, which is Monday, yes today, that's right. I think a little premature, suggests that tomorrow would be in play for 800 numbers. I personally think the most likely scenario, it could come out Friday or Saturday. Yes, it could, but if we don't get it by Saturday, my gut is that it'll come in Sunday night late and wake up to it Monday, and then call, set appointments, and maybe. Depending on the time that we get the numbers, the 800 numbers in our emails from Wells Fargo and we set our appointment, and then if it's early, we go that day, because not if it's later. Like 2 o'clock in the afternoon or so, I think that we get our numbers I heard starting on Tuesday. That's my opinion, that's my projection on it. That we could, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong and we get it sooner. I think they are watching to see what happens with the hurricane. I think they are watching to see what happens when you have provisioned some of the areas that have already been hit by Hurricane Helena. That they have temporary structures that can do some exchanges as well in place. And so they may not be the same permanent buildings that they were going to use. They've already worked that out. Now, if this thing, the hurricane, goes through and does a fair amount of damage, then I'm thinking they may postpone it. But they may just want to catch back on changes as soon as redemption centers are looking to get notified, when they notified, even as early as tomorrow, that they would have available funds in the email. How much they have total in their account, how much availability of those funds they would receive access 3 things, what's their total amount that should be in their account, how much they would have access to day 1, and then what day they would actually be able to access their account. And those emails could come out anytime. Could be they might not get access till next week, so we don't know until here we are on a Tuesday. It looks to me like we would have a call on Thursday night. At this point, that's what it looks like. Plan for that. And other than that, I say that's pretty much everything I wanted to bring out tonight. Everything I wanted to say. I believe that the information is reliable. And reason why time for the weekend through 14 is the fact that Sunday. We've got Nasara activated, implemented on Sunday, don't have a time. Might be after the 4X comes back up 5 o'clock Eastern, don't know that. But when Jester already implemented this morning, at 6:30 in the morning and got Nasara to be implemented, I think we're off to the races, I really do. And I think that gives us enough time through the end of the month or reduction centers to get most everybody in there. Of course, they want the Zoom in their immediate amen thing. They want it quickly and all that good stuff. We don't talk about med beds a whole lot, but I did hear that med beds should be available, especially for ZIM holders. Take care of the white labels that could be. They want to know that you want to be around long enough to see your projects through the completion. So there is a little bit of advantage if you're a ZIM holder. In terms of getting into the mend bag quickly, I'm talking 5% after getting start, so I'm excited about that tonight. And let's now turn off the recording. Bruce's big call Dinar Intel Tuesday night 10824 replay link Intel begins 1 hour 3 minutes and 35 seconds. Listen to the full version on the official DinarReport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.